What's going on, guys? Back with another weekly or bi-weekly video, whatever you would like to call it. Um, Today we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about some arcade listings that are kind of out there. We'll talk about some upcoming games, releases, or sales, and then we'll get into some pickups, obviously, at the end. First off, I want to start with the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm going to be doing a Nintendo Switch Lite. So I will probably wait. I was just gonna pick one and just get it, but I don't know what color people are gonna want. I don't, if the winner, I would get like the coral or the turquoise one, but or the aqua. I don't know what they call it. I actually have that one for my daughter. I really like it, but I would get one of those. But some other people may want the gray or the yellow. And then I was like, well, I'll just get the gray, and people, that's pretty ordinary. Because I'm a little bit worried that they'll be sold out. It'll probably be more towards March or April when I hit that mark. So I'm a little bit worried that they'll be sold out and I'll have a hard time grabbing what people want. But I think I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm going to put a link in the description for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, which will be, like I said, the Nintendo Switch Lite. And I'm going to try to hold out until then and then just let the winner pick what color they want. And then I'll just send that one to the winner. So it's something that I really wanted to do. I like doing the giveaways. After the 1,000 subscribers, I will still be doing them. I don't know how often I'll do them, but I still will be doing them in the future. This channel has just been something that's been a lot of fun for me to do, which is like it's like an area where I can come to and just talk about stuff that I really like that not many people that I know are interested in. And I, appreciate you guys sticking with me because I talk about a wide variety of stuff. I talk about games. I talk about Transformers. I talk about collectibles. All kinds of different stuff. I'm all over the place, like a little puppy. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me in my attention span and just where I go, and just like I said, talk about cool stuff, and like to try to keep a positive, attitude here. There's a lot of negativity in the gaming atmosphere, and I try to stay away from that stuff. And more or less, I don't try to put that negative energy out there. Try to keep it positive here, and for the most part, most people, have responded, pretty positively. I rarely get negative feedback, and if so, it's pretty rogue. But anyways, that's just my way of showing appreciation for everyone who hangs out and watches. And like I said, go ahead and get yourself in that contest. But let's go ahead and move on to Arcade1Up listings. So right now, there's not a whole lot going on. Recently they announced the Outrun stand-up cabinet, so that's basically available for pre-order at Best Buy, and that's $550. There's no release date announcement for that yet, which is a little bit strange. I know I hear a lot of people talking about the price point for these things, the $550. Now for me personally, because I got to sit down one, and I haven't gone over and done a review out, because like I said, I had that I was one of the first people to get it, but I was holding it out for Christmas for the kids. That's probably the biggest no-brainer cabinet that I've gotten personally, is the Outrun sit-down for $550. That price point for me, there's no other racing games that the Outrunners games, the games that are on that cabinet. There's really no other games that I would prefer to have on a racing cabinet or a driving cabinet, whatever you'd like to call it, except for there really are no other games. I'd like Outrun 2 and Daytona, but that's different hardware, and I still think I'd prefer the original Outrun over some of those games. So that's personal preference, and that cabinet is really well done. I like to sit down. The big problem with that is it does take up a lot of room. I had to reorganize my game room since I got that thing for it. So the stand-up one I think is pretty cool. That it's doesn't take up the room. You could possibly say that one should be $500 just because it's not the sit down, but I don't know. I absolutely love that cabinet. I think it's worth $550 all day. Now for the sit down one, that one is not available at Best Buy. I think GameStop has that one, the sit down, available for $550 that you can order right now, and then the pre-order for, like I said, the stand up is available at Best Buy for $550. But moving on, we'll go to the Bandai Namco, the Legacy cabinet. That's the Pac-Man Legacy cabinet that has the 12 games on it. That's available for pre-order at Best Buy for $399. I think I touched on that a couple weeks ago, that the Legacy cabinets I think are going to be $399 from what I understand. And that one releases March 30th, 2021. So if you want to grab that one, if you don't have a Pac-Man cabinet, that's the one to get right there. with 12 games. So the Atari Legacy cabinet, the Tempest one, it's kind of been coming in and out of stock. That one has been at GameStop, and that's $3.99. Like I said, it has the 12 games, and it's out of stock currently. But just keep an eye on that because I think they've coming in and out of stock with that one. Same thing with the Capcom Legacy cabinet, the Street Fighter 2 one. $3.99. That one's at GameStop for pre-order, and it's out of stock currently, but they've been restocking, type of thing, restocking, then they run out. So just keep an eye on those two at GameStop if you're looking for those cabinets. The Pong Pub table is $5.50 at Best Buy still. They still have that available for pre-order, or it's $5.49. I'm sorry. The release date for that is April 1st, 2021. The Midway Legacy cabinet. I know I touched on that a couple weeks ago. That got posted on GameStop's website, and they pulled it. There's been no new news on that. So I think there's a Reddit post that says, for the most part, what's happening is that they have not finalized the games list with the publisher, and that's why it hasn't, that's why they had to pull it down. So it'll be interesting to see when that ever comes out and gets officially announced. But just keep an eye on that. And like I said, I think I was at GameStop is where they had posted it, so that's probably who's going to be selling that. Best Buy may have it, but I would definitely check GameStop for that one. That one looks like a pretty good one. The Killer Instinct, Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, and X-Men cabinet. There's really no new news that I've seen of as far as like price points or release dates. So I'll try to keep you updated when that stuff comes out. The Big Buck Hunter Pro is still available at Best Buy for $5.50. There's reviews out for that now, so you can go ahead and check those out. A lot of people have gotten those, done reviews. It looks pretty decent if you like Buck Hunter. Like for me, like I said, space is at a premium. I'm holding out for a spot. It's been hard. I've really been tempted to get that light gun game, but it's just I know they're more than likely going to have more coming down the road, and I just I don't want to get that and then have buyer's remorse saying, oh, I should have held out. So I'm trying real hard to hold out on that one. The ping pong tables look to be unavailable everywhere, so the GameStop and Best Buy have listings up, but it says that they're coming soon or unavailable. So hopefully those. I know I had my pre-order in at GameStop. I had that in before Christmas until the big delay happened. So hopefully those still come out. They're supposed to. I know John D said they're supposed to come out in February. So I haven't got any kind of notification. So hopefully I do, and I'll keep you guys posted if I get my notification. And hopefully they get new listings available to where people can get their pre-orders in. But I'm real excited for that whenever it comes out. The Miss Pac-Man cabinet is on sale at Walmart, and that's on sale for $3.49. It's normally $3.99. It's on sale for $3.49. I think GameStop has that cabinet as well, but theirs is I think more like $500. GameStop or Best Buy, I'm not sure, but it's also a different games list. But still $3.49 for that Miss Pac-Man at Walmart. That's the only thing I really see as far as a sale right now. Let me know if there's anything else that you guys are seeing. Next, we'll move on to PlayAsia.com has a PS Vita reprint sale. And I grabbed a couple of these this week. More or less, these are games that are English versions. So I think they have Japanese or Asian and English versions of these games. And there's about like 6 or 7, or maybe like 6 to 10 different games. I grabbed a couple of them. The God of War I grabbed, that's $32.99. The Killzone Mercenary is $29.99. And the other one I would recommend is Muramasa Rebirth. I already had that game, so I didn't have to buy it, but the previous two didn't have in my collection. But the Muramasa Rebirth is $39.99. All those are 3 of the best games on the Vita, and these are all, like I said, reprints, English versions that you can grab. The shipping from PlayAsia is usually about $8 or $9. All these games go, if you try to pick up these games new, like online, you're going to pay $50, $60 plus for all of them. So these are pretty good prices for all of them. If you want new, you can obviously get used for cheaper. But like I said, they're some of the best games on the Vita. So if you are a Vita collector like me, then just keep your eye out for that. Upcoming games and releases. I talked about the Monster Hunter Rise Collector's Edition that's kind of been sold out. And I don't know if this was available 2 weeks ago when I talked, but Best Buy has a pre-order out to where if you pre-order the Deluxe or Standard Edition from Best Buy, you get a free Steelbook, which I'm definitely going to go that route. I want that Steelbook, so I'm going that route. I'm going to do my pre-order from Best Buy. Best Buy and GameStop both have if you pre-order from either of them, you both get the Golden Retriever Palamute layered armor set, and I think you get the Forest Cat layered armor set for your Palico. So both of those are available with your pre-order from Best Buy or GameStop, but the free Steelbook is only from Best Buy, and like I said, that's on the standard or the deluxe edition. The Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, that release date is coming up. It'll probably be out before the next time I do one of these videos, and that's February 12th. It's kind of similar. If you pre-order that from Best Buy, you pay $2 extra and you get, what is it? It's a phone and tech badge. It looks like it's kind of like a sticker you can put on your phone. Some people are saying that's a pin, but it looks like more like a sticker. So if you're going to get that game anyways, I guess I don't see any other special pre-order bonus from GameStop currently. So I would look at that. But that's it. So I guess we can get into pickups. All right, we'll start with the Luke Skywalker. I added this to the collection. This is the Luke Skywalker Artifacts, or Kotobukiya Artifacts. He started skyrocketing up in price for reasons that I'm not going to ruin for anyone. If you haven't seen a certain show, obviously he's become really popular. His popularity has increased of late for obvious reasons. Like I said, I'm not going to get into it, but his price started going up quite significantly. I grabbed him pretty early on, so he didn't get too expensive, but he's getting up there as well. Now the Mandalorian, I talked about him in the last video. I'm talking about him now because he also sold out and started going up over $200. But somebody has got a restock on Amazon, and he's going for, you can get him for $96.99. Like I said, he's going up closer to, he was up over 200 or around 200 for a couple weeks, and now that restock this morning, I will tell you, had 6 available, and then I checked again before I did the recording of this video, and there's only 3 available. If I don't see an available by the time I go to upload, I'll try to edit this part out, but hopefully a couple of y'all maybe can see that and grab it. If not, then I apologize. Next, we'll get into some games. So, with the Midway Legacy cabinet, I just, for whatever reason, was trying to find a compilation with all the games on it that were, would be on there. This is the Midway Arcade Origins on the PS3. This is also available on the Xbox 360. And it includes 31 of Midway's legacy, just arcade games. I know there's the Midway Arcade Treasures that's on, like, I think the Xbox. There's like 3 versions. I think this has all the games that's on those 3 versions. I know people have complained that this doesn't have the extras that like some of those games have. I think it's pretty good. I like it. It has like all the, like the Tubin, the Root Beer Tapper, Super Off-Road, Arch Rivals, Defender 1, 2, Spy Hunter, 31 games, all a bunch of Midway classics. I think it's a really cool disc and compilation. So I've been playing with it and I like it. This I got kind of almost by accident. This is the Metal Gear Solid, the Legacy Collection on the PS3. I think this is the PS3 exclusive. For this one, I more or less was getting the Midway Arcades Origins, and that game goes for about $25 online, $20, $25. And then I found somebody selling both of them together for $30. And apparently this is like a $25 to $30 game on its own. So I've got both of them for $30. They're both about 25-ish type of games, dollars type of games. The cool thing about the Metal Gear Solid one, and I'm not a Metal Gear Solid fan, so don't get me wrong, but the collection, it's a 2-disc set. The first disc has Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. The disc 2 has Metal Gear Solid 2, the HD version, Metal Gear Solid 3 HD version, and that Metal Gear, if you go in the Metal Gear Solid 3 HD version, it also includes the original Metal Gear, and then the original Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. And I think those are the Nintendo versions, from what I'm pretty sure. It also includes Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker HD version, and that's the PSP. That was a PSP exclusive, I believe. The downside to this collection, and that's a lot of games right there. Like I said, if you're a Metal Gear or Metal Gear Solid fan, that's a lot of games right there. The downside is that, and I don't know why they did this, it makes no sense, but the Metal Gear Solid was a digital, so they give you a digital title for that. The one I got, the code's already been used, so that's the only one that is not on there. So if you do get that collection, just know that it's not going to have the Metal Gear Solid on there. Everything else, though, is actually on the actual disc, which is a lot. That's it's like 5, 6, 7 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's seven games. No, 6 games. Sorry, I think it's 6. It would have been 7 if you get the digital code. But yeah, that's, like I said, it's a pretty solid deal if you're a fan of that series. Next up, Battle Squadron on the Sega Genesis. This was actually an EA game. So back in the day, EA obviously made a lot of different games than just, sports games and stuff like that. It's a vertical scrolling shooter. I got it cart only and just made my own case. Cart only is pretty cheap. I think you can get it around 20-ish, maybe 25. I don't know, somewhere in that price range. It's not too expensive. Complete is pretty expensive, and it's a pretty decent vertical scrolling shooter, but it's definitely average at the best, maybe a little bit below average as far as other shooters on the Genesis. So I would definitely not get the complete version. I don't think it's worth that, but it's okay as far as like a vertical scrolling shooter. It's all right. But moving on, from that, we got Tecmo World Wrestling on the NES. I always grew up being a pro wrestling fan. I always played pro wrestling on the NES. And I know I've heard of recent years people just tout about this game. And this is actually really fun. I finally picked it up. It's another game you can get for pretty cheap, probably $10 or under. Probably more like, I think I paid like 6 or 7 maybe for that. But it's a cheap game on the NES. It's actually really solid. It's pretty cool because you can do like just different exercises and stuff to like power up your wrestler between matches and stuff. But I actually like it a lot. It's a really solid game on the NES, especially as far as racing game goes. Alright, next up on the PS4, it's the Metal Slug Anthology. This is a limited run games release on the PS4. Really good collection. It has Metal Slug 2, Metal Slug X, Metal Slug 3, Metal Slug 4, Metal Slug 5, Metal Slug 6. A lot of Metal Slug games, yeah, a lot of them are really similar, but it's still a really cool collection. And I picked that up, like I said, that finally got delivered about a week or two ago on the from Limited Run Games. Something that I've been doing as of late is I've really been wanting to improve my ability to play imports. And also, I stopped collecting PS2 games a while back when I got like the Xbox. I think was it the pound HDMI cable for the Xbox, which I was like, man. And it kind of got me really into like appreciating Xbox games because the Xbox was more powerful, but I was always more of a PS2 guy. But that cable kind of sucks. I found like a lot of games that cable does not support, and I kind of started getting irritated. So I wanted to get a backwards compatible PS3, which I have my original backwards compatible PS3, which burnt out a couple years ago. I tried to fix it. I think I got the red light of death or yellow light of death. I fixed that, and then I think in the process of fixing that, I messed up my PS3 and have never been able to get it back working 100%. It powers on, but it doesn't really work. So I picked up a backwards compatible PS3, which at that point in time you can play the PS1, PS2, and PS3 games. Because that's really, which the reason you want to do that is then because you can play you can output your PS2 games in, HDMI, and they do have HDMI converters for your PS2. But for what I understand, that's the best way to do that is with the PS3. So I got the North American one. I also picked up a Japanese backwards compatible PS3, and so kind of going to be expanding the games that I can collect. As far as I've had a lot of fun collecting import games over the last couple years, and that's kind of my I talk about this stuff on the channel, and this is stuff I'm going to be talking more about. It's just the PS1 imports, PS2 imports, and just PS2 North American games. I'm going to get back into collecting that as well because that library is so huge. But the couple games I want to talk about today is Mobile Light Force 2. And this is actually a vertical scrolling shooter. And it's kind of strange because this is actually Shikigami no Shiro in Japan. And for whatever reason, it's called Mobile Light Force 2. And it's not a sequel to Mobile Light Force 1 on the PS1. It's actually the Shikigami series. There's like 2 or 3 games in the Shikigami series, which I'll be talking about on this channel coming up. But the cover art on this is horrible. It looks like Charlie's Angels. It's not. It's a vertical scrolling shooter, and it's actually one of the better shooters on the PS2. And it's a cheap game. It's like a $10, $15 game, I want to say, at most. Definitely would advise picking that game up if you like shooters. Next up, we have Hokuno no Ken on the PS2, and this is an import only, and this part of the Sega Ages 2500 collection. This is volume 11 on here, and basically Hokuno no Ken is based off the based off of the Fist of the North Star Japanese manga series. And there's a boatload of games in this series, but this Sega Ages 2500 series more or less is a remaster of a bunch of old Sega games. And this one is a remaster of the Conan no Ken on the Sega Mark III. And that game is more or less is black belt. So that game in America is black belt. It's the same thing as, they're the same game, it's just like a palette swap. But this disc includes that game, the Sega Mark III version. It also improves the remaster version, and this is a pretty cheap game. You can get this game, I think, same thing, around 15, 20 bucks, and it's actually a lot of fun. it's a silly game. But it's actually a pretty cool remaster as far as it's the Conan no Ken is a really basic, just kind of like similar to Kung Fu, if you're not familiar with the black belt. But it's just you just walk left and right and just beat characters up. And the remaster is I think it's actually pretty well done. I'm gonna be talking about some more of those Sega Ages 2500 games. I got some more coming in, and I'll be talking about those on the channel as well. But that's it for the most part. What have I been playing? I just beat the Cyber Shadow, and I did a review for that. Actually, a really solid game. Love that game, so check out that review. And I've been playing Nier Automata on the PS4. That game is spectacular. I can't believe I waited this long to play that game. I wanted to play it before the new game is coming out, I think in April, which is actually a prequel to this one. But that game is fantastic, and I've gotten back into Monster Hunter World. I started my new build on the PS5. Full steam ahead. That game plays really good on the PS5, by the way. If you're a Monster Hunter fan, that game is like, the load times are so short compared to normal. I've been joking that I had 600 hours in the last one, and I'm going to make that time up just in load time. So we'll see. But anyways, that's it, y'all. Thanks for watching, and get in that giveaway later.